Okay, Telegraph. This is Boris Johnson, who has a book out, and he says the UK needs a referendum on the ECHR, which is the European Court of Human Rights. This is more him speaking rather than actually in the book. But this is this ongoing thing, Jamila, about the ECHR being a problem. Do you agree with it?
I don't know. I think Theresa May said in 2016 that we should leave the ECHR. So I don't think it's necessarily a radical thing of the right. But I don't know if we need a referendum. I feel like we have too many referendums and they don't always end the way that we anticipate.
The referendum thing, since Brexit, I've been interested whether referendums always take you to the right. So I think if you had a referendum on the death penalty, you'd bring it back.
You probably would, actually.
I honestly, I think 51% of people would say, yeah, there's 4 or 5 people who should be hanged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would you want a referendum on this?
No, absolutely not. And the thing is...
How can the majority be wrong, Nina?
Well, they were over Brexit, weren't they?
But how is that? It's not possible, is it?
It is possible. It's absolutely... I mean, Brexit is your best example of that, because buyer's remorse. Look, people have changed completely in their views. You know, a huge percentage of people think that it was the wrong vote.
It's really. I know Boris Johnson says now we need a referendum on getting out of the European Court and stuff. But the bigger thing is whether referendums sort anything or whether they can go really badly wrong. And I don't know what I think about that.
I think if you're going to have a referendum, you need to have a plan for either scenario. I think with the problems of some of ours, we haven't really thought about exactly how we're going to implement things.
Yeah.
So, have a referendum if you really want to, but know exactly what you're going to do if you get either result.
But the thing is, he's only talking in theory because, let's face it, Labour are in for 5 years. And there's no way that Labour are going to have a referendum on leaving the ECHR. For heaven's sake. Practically set up by Winston Churchill, and the thing is, do we want to be a country that is a complete outlier? I mean, who are the countries that aren't signed up to that kind of those kind of morals and that kind of philosophy?
Well, island nations do have to sometimes tread their own path.
Yeah, and the world is very different from when Winston Churchill set them up. People do use that as an excuse, but we didn't have such a global world as we do now. I mean, people
do we want to be like Russia, Belarus? Seriously?
So we do have
in terms of human rights.
We do have our own human rights laws, and we are capable.
There's a story associated with this, something to do with Boris Johnson getting snubbed by Leonardo DiCaprio.
So sad.
You see, because Boris put on a South African accent.
Oh, is that why?
Have you got across this? I'm not. So Leonardo DiCaprio snubbed him because Boris Johnson put on a South African accent, okay? And
that's a very good accent.
You could do it better than me, though. I know you can.
Well, I was brought up there.
Yes, I know you were. And so anyway, he encountered him. He did a joke accent, and obviously Leonardo thought, I don't know what's going on here, but I'm out of my depth.
Oh, such a shame. Maybe he was a fan of his show.
Maybe so. OK, Storm will take your calls on this big issue of the ECHR, the Telegraph's piece that Boris Johnson said we should get out. And as Jamila says, it was Theresa May's idea as well. So maybe it's not even a right-wing idea anymore.